Alright guys, I'm not done hunting necessarily here yet, but I may be done. I haven't heard a goose in a little while now, maybe a half an hour or so. So we're just going to give you a quick rundown of what I got going on. One thing I did keep in mind, like when I get my limit here, or if I get my limit, which is 5 geese here in Minnesota in the early season, I got 3 already. I want to get off the field as quick as I possibly can, because if you never know if another flock or 2 are going to come off, and I don't want to be standing out here dinking around by my decoys, and then have them, educate them, I guess, by them seeing me by my decoys. So we're going to go through a little bit here, kind of show you what I got going on. I'm going to explain a couple things that happened this morning that, that's how goose hunting works. So what I got going on is, I got a pretty good sized wheat field. It goes over to where this big tree is over here. There's fence line. The road is down there towards the sun. And then I got a driveway comes up to this farm place here. And then on the other side of this cornfield, like halfway over to these trees, there's actually another wheat field that is about the same width as this cornfield, and it runs up and around all these trees, and then it's straight on my side of it along the edge of the corn. I have not seen any geese setting on that little strip. It's only 150 yards wide or something up there, and less in some places, like where this draw comes out, it's less. The geese haven't been setting up there, so I haven't worried about hunting over there. And then I mentioned earlier, down over the hill down there, there is most of a quarter of wheat down there. It's all combine just like this field. And then farmer actually planted preventative crop or planted brassicas out here. So like right there, you can kind of see some of them are coming up. So we no-till seeded in a cover crop, I guess is what they call it. I'm looking around because you never know when a goose could just show up here. So if I just abruptly set you down, I apologize, but that's how it works here. So yeah, there's a quarter of wheat field down below the hill. There's been some geese, I'm pretty sure, land down there this morning. Several flocks for sure, because again, I can hear them honking up here, and then I turn you guys on, I go try and get laid down, and then they never come up here. So I'm trying to mostly watch, from about here, anywhere over here, over to about here is where I expect the geese to come up over the hill. The first single I shot come up over these trees come from the south, but I heard it first going that way and I never could see it. And then I got laid down, and then pretty quick I seen it was just over the trees. And he come in and he made a couple loops around my decoys here before he finally come into the spread nice. And then, I shot at him and knocked him down, but unfortunately, it just winged him down. I didn't get a good killing shot on him, and he hit up here on the side of this hill up here behind me. I don't know how much of it you're going to be able to see, but I'll kind of explain. So he hit up there, and I reloaded. I jogged up there, but I don't run right at him. So if a goose is standing, or if a bird, any game that you have injured or whatever, I try to walk at like a diagonal to them. So you're getting closer to them, but like you're walking, somewhat sideways to them, parallel to them. So for example, if there was a goose right here in front of me and I'm chasing them, or a bird I'm trying to chase, I'm going to walk at an angle like this. So I'm walking like kind of not directly at them, because you go directly at them, then they want to flop and run and try and fly. But if I go like at an angle over this way, you're slowly getting closer to them without them maybe necessarily realizing that how close you're getting to them. So that's exactly what I did to that goose. Once I got over there, I got fairly close to him, and I ended up just shooting him again, because I don't want to be running around out here all day. You can run around, chase them, and catch them, and I've done that in the past, but I sprained my ankle this spring, so I'm not much of a runner right at the moment. and probably won't be for a while. So yeah, so like I said, I mean, wasn't the best shooting on my part. I got him knocked down, I got him harvested. Well, that really wasn't the shooting expo that I wanted to put on right there, but we got ourselves one goose. Single come in from back behind me over here to the west, and one honked over there earlier, like when I just got set up. And I honked a couple times back and I never could see it, and then all of a sudden I heard a honk coming again, and I honked, and sure enough he's right here. Circled by me a couple times, but like kind of circled all the way around the entire spread, and now this last pass he finally come in like they're supposed to. You know, the wind's coming from the camera to me here, so he circled around and he come in downwind like they should. But yeah, had to go chase him just a little bit. Winged him down, looks like it broke most of the wing on the one side, but one goose for the morning. Yeah, we'll show you a little better as we go what I got going on here, but one goose down. What? Then I set next to, what I do is I have 2 decoys here, rest of my spread up here, and these 2 decoys are only here to hide my camera. So what I've been doing is setting my camera kind of right in front of this guy here, so the camera is somewhat in the shade to try and reduce the glare off the lenses of the camera or whatever, but then aiming hopefully over my spread. I don't know how much of any of the last 2 pairs you guys are going to be able to see, but when it ended up happening, I was standing actually, which was sort of my bad too, because normally I try to kneel down next to this just in case something happens. So I tried to kneel, right in here and watch this way. But again, I'm only a single person, so you only can watch so much. But yeah, I was sitting watching this way, all of a sudden, like, I happened to look, and like right up here, like just this side of the sun, there was a pair of geese. Alright guys, so that did not work out as it's supposed to. That's the tough part of filming for you guys. So, give you a little bit of what's going on because it's going to be important here. So behind the camera, there's a big lake down here. It's 3/4 of a mile away from me here. There is a big wheat field down below the hill, over the hill, and I'll show you at the end here when I'm done, but there's a big wheat field down there, most of a quarter. Some of the geese, or most of the geese, been landing down there. So I've had a couple false alarms here this morning already. Like, I hear them honking, I'm pretty sure they're landing on the field down there. So not 3 minutes ago, I heard a honking over here to my right, and the sun's over there. And I was looking and looking and looking. I honked a few times, but I couldn't get them to honk back. Well, sure enough, here I'm standing here, and I just happened to glance that way. Here, this pair is already cupped up, coming down. So I literally just squatted down, and I turned you guys on. I just heard a honk again. But yeah, I just squatted down. And I couldn't see them. I literally had my back to where the geese were at, which is what you don't want to be looking at them. You don't want to move them around. Looked like they come right in here. I should have given them an extra 5 seconds to get just a little closer in here, but I didn't know where they were at. I'm literally peeking over my shoulder and thought they were in where I wanted them, but they were a little far out still. And plus, I'm standing, I don't know, maybe not 15 yards, but a good 12 yards probably behind the rest of my decoys. So not only were they not quite into the spread, but I'm also 12 yards farther away. And I give the first one, I got a modified barrel and a full barrel. I give the first one the full barrel, and it looked like I hit him. There was a bunch of feathers come down, so I moved and I shot at the other one, and it almost looked like I tickled him too. But boy, they went to the south here, and they just kept paddling. I think they ended up circling back down towards the lake. So again, had I not been filming for you guys, I mean, there should have been a pair of dead geese right there. I apologize, just the way it goes. So yeah, like I said, there's been a couple false alarms. If I hear a honk, normally I try to turn you guys on and get laid down, and I just end up with a lot of dead camera space because 8 times out of 10 there's no geese actually coming. And that's part of the tricky part. So last weekend I hunted with my brother and we did good, But we had a hard time filming even then because the geese were just popping on us. Like all of a sudden they're just boom, like these two just there. So we were hardly even getting ourselves covered up, much less me trying to turn on a camera. You know, and I didn't want to ruin his hunt by, you know, scaring geese away just like that, you know. Had he been here, he'd have been laying in the spread. He would have blasted the crap out of those two. But so yeah, that's part of the joys of trying to film for you guys a little bit here. Filming by myself, self-filming here. So pretty much I got to stand by my camera because I don't want to leave it run for 4 hours straight because the batteries will die and everything else. And you would never know when the batteries are dead, when they're not. So I want to say lesson learned, but it ain't even a lesson learned. I already knew it was going to happen. I mean, it's a bummer. Again, with nobody's hunting the field down below, I'm assuming this morning is Friday morning here. So basically, you know, nobody else is going to be out here chasing them around. So I'm hoping that a few of them don't land down below the hill and they come up over the hill like that pair or the single I already got. So yeah, like I said, we'll keep trying here. We'll shut you guys off. Like I said, I'm going to stand right next to the camera here again, and hopefully I can hear them. If I hear one honk, basically, like I said, I've been trying to turn you on. I mean, I'm not going to show you any of the dead air, but I got a few clips already, you know, in between that single I got. That was the first one I hardly got set up, and he come. And then this pair now has been half an hour maybe, but I've had a couple times where I've heard geese honking over the hill, and they just haven't come up here. So we'll shut you guys off, and hopefully the next clip or you see won't be me standing here talking. It'll be me shooting at some geese. So I was trying to peek over my shoulder like this to see where they were at, and I could hear like their wings going woof, 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 like they were trying to land or trying to spook. You know, they kind of make the same sound when they try to get, either when they're landing or trying to, you know, get out of here. So I turned around. They were plenty far. It looked like, to me, like I hit the first one actually pretty good, I thought. You know, there was some decent feathers flew off of him, and it looked like he was gonna like soar down up towards this hill again. So I moved over and I shot the second one, and I actually thought I tickled him too, but they ended up flying up over this hill, you know, and they made their way around and they went down past these trees. So they both had flew more than a half a mile before they got out of my sight. So there's a good chance I didn't kill either one of them. And I mean, I have no idea if I did where they would ever be, because it's all woods that over here. Yeah, it's all woods. This is all hill. There's a goose honking. I don't know where, but we're gonna go way down. Well, that isn't supposed to happen. Yeah, I was sitting here talking with you guys, all of a sudden I heard a honk. Sounded fairly close over this way, and I'm looking and looking. Well, here he was right up here, you know, 400 yards up or something. But had I been laying down, maybe could have called him in, I don't know. But he kind of went off to the southwest from me here now. But yeah, that's kind of a bummer. You don't want that to be happening. I figured the geese were done flying, honestly, so it was on me. It's hard to look towards the sun and actually see, so that's part of it. That goose come from the sun direction, so, and so did that pair that I was just talking about before that happened. Yeah, they come behind me. Like I said, I shot, they flew away. I chatted with you guys just a minute, and I hardly got you guys set down. All of a sudden, honk, honk, and I turned you guys back on, and I'm not going to show you any footage because there's nothing to show. But up over here, there's a flock of 5 come flying by. They weren't terribly high. Well, that's good for it. My gun just slipped out of my hand, knocked my decoy over. Yeah, but they flew by and they didn't even really care. I honked a couple times at them. They never even fluttered or anything. So, yeah, and I sat there just a minute and then nothing happened. So I come over and I shut you guys off. And then I was sitting here by the thing. All of a sudden I could hear honking over here, you know, sound like over this direction. So turned you guys on, went way down. Pair of geese come out. They were over here, up over these trees, and they looked like they were gonna land way over there, like way by this big single tree over here. And I honked a few times, like honked, and then finally they must have seen me. Well, heck, I can't even do an interview with you guys. I literally just heard one honked, turned around. This goose was just coming right over the top of the hill right over here. I don't know if he was the same single that I just seen that went by here or not, but that was a long shot from over there. I'm probably 40 yards from those decoys now, and he's another 10 yards over here. So my shotgun has a modified barrel and a full barrel. So I got double triggers so I can choose which one I want to shoot. So I shot him with the full barrel and bingo bango, there's number 4. So that happened quick. Well, now we got 4. One more and I'll have my limit here. I don't know that I expect to get any more, but I didn't expect to get this one, so I'll pick him up here. So we're gonna kind of show you what well here, as long as I'm over here, we're gonna quick show you. So what I got is, I make kind of an arc. Here, we're gonna set my gun down too. So what I have here is this wheat field. Opening weekend or last weekend, we sat up down here in the bottom of this. We dump all of our decoys off in the driveway here and we carry everything out. Because I try to absolutely not have tire tracks coming right through my spread. Because like this morning there was dew and it's like stands out like a beacon when you drive right out through your spread. You know, drive out, dump them all out and set up. So we carry our decoys out if I can. This morning I drove right out by these trees, which actually ain't as far away as I'd have liked, but dumped all my decoys and carried them out here. So I'm here by myself. So since we sat up down there last weekend and we had a couple flocks come by, spooked, didn't like what we had, and we shot at a few flocks. One bigger one, I guess, is all we shot at on Monday morning, I guess. I didn't want to set up in the exact same spot. I wanted to set up a little differently, so some of those same birds come. I ain't setting in the same spot day after day after day after day. And like this morning, I haven't really spooked anything other than that pair that I didn't get. Maybe this single that just come by, you know, is going to be a little hesitant maybe to come in here if this one isn't him. But yeah, so like tomorrow morning, I won't have any problem setting up right here. I haven't had a flock of like 15 come in, spook, don't like my spread, or I shot at them. I only have 2 shells because I'm shooting a double barrel. So you shoot at a flock of 15, you kind of burn your spot. So if I would have done that this morning, I'd try to go set up differently on this field. I'd go up on top of the hill up here, or go down closer to the corner over there or something. Set up in a different location. I don't want to be hunting the same spot for 15 days in a row, right? So what I did, like I said, I dumped my decoys, I carried them out here. So I try to kind of family group them because it's early season here. So 2 decoys, I figured that's as far as I wanted to shoot for my decoy. It's tipped up on the back right there. That's where I normally lay down and cover myself. I'm a right-handed shooter, so I face this way and then I can swing out here, so I'm facing this way. I can swing and shoot this whole area because I'm right-handed, and all the way around, that far just by twisting my body. So I want to be towards that end of the spread facing this way so the geese aren't trying to land behind me over here, okay? So I wanted to try and get them kind of in family groups. So I got just a pair out here on the end with the hopes that like this guy would have, the pair that I got, both landed like right up in here when I, after I shot them. they wanted to set kind of out on the end where there's a few less decoys out here. So family groups, a pair, I got 5 here, I kind of got 6 there, I think, then a little bigger cluster, a little bigger, and then a smaller one on the end. And then obviously I got my 2 for my camera back there. So that's kind of my spread. I try to put full bodies in the front. I got 2 dozen full bodies out here, and then I have just about 2 dozen shells out here. So I put full bodies in the front and then kind of pepper in a few the shells kind of behind or mixed in with some of the full bodies. So like right here, for example, there's 2 full bodies and there's actually 3 shells sitting behind there. Those are magnum shells. There's 18 magnums out here. Over here there's one small one that I picked up off the road a few years ago. And then over where I'm laying, I'm hiding under super magnums. So I lay one over my body and then I put a magnum over my feet. So, but yeah, that's kind of my spread. The wind is north or westerly, so west is this way, north is this way, so it's kind of blowing in my face like this. So these birds, I mean this one and all the rest of them, they want to kind of circle back around me and then come into the wind to land. And how I set up here, I actually wanted to be a little further out from these trees over here. But what I have, I put my decoys right out to the edge of the hill over here because I don't want them landing over the hill. And then right here, I kind of give them this whole flat here to try and land on the top of the hill. I don't want to set up on the edge of the hill and then make them trying to land down below me there. The geese generally don't like to do that. I mean, hopefully you're shooting at them before they land anyway, but they still might be hesitant enough to not even cup up and commit if you're trying to make them land down below your spread. So I purposely actually moved that way just a little bit to give a little bit bigger landing area right here in front of me. And again, that's where the geese have been trying to land. So, all right, we're gonna get my goose picked up, my shotgun reloaded, because I think I only got 1 shell in there right now. And we'll get you guys set back up over there. There's been a bunch of doves flying around. Get my shotgun. See if I can film and walk here. There's been a bunch of doves flying around. We ended up harvesting 4 doves last weekend while we've been goose hunting. I have some 6-shot steel with me, and then I'm shooting BBs at the geese. That's all. I mean, I have some triple BBs and a few other things, but we've been shooting for years is just BB, and that's plenty to kill these early season geese at least. We'll give you a little look here. So again, right here's where I'm laying. We always just use a shell belt, and I have these 2 are dove loads. Normally I have 2 loose ones laying here of goose loads. So extra, I put my feet under that decoy, and then this one's laying over my body up in here. So basically only my legs are showing. I try to kind of lay half on top of my shell belt, and then my gun would be laying like right here with me laying right next to it kind of. And I always try to put my arm kind of over and cover as much of my gun as I can. So yeah, right here's where I've been laying. And then what we try to do is we try to police our shells too. So right here, I noticed these 2 didn't get under this. So I got my cell phone, goose carrier, but we always try to police our shells. And then we hide our geese, the animals we've harvested. I know some guys will set them out here. We always try to hide them. So right there, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think, yeah, this is the first one, the biggest one of the group. And then I got this pair, and then this is the one I just got. So like I said, we just kind of stack them up. This is a super magnum decoy, so it's nice and big. You know, try to get them. I mean, I don't really care if they're completely in there, but get them in underneath there. Yeah, and like I said, from this kind of angle, you can kind of see I got a pretty good arc over that way and kind of an arc to here. I purposely have a little higher concentration of decoys behind me and a little less out in front of me, because the geese are typically, they're not going to try to land. If they got this tight of a spread, they're not going to land right in your decoy or want to. They're going to want to land where there's a little more open room for them to get down. So that's why I got actually less out here out in front of me. So again, when I'm laying here, I'm facing this way. You know, I set up, I could easily shoot. This is straight in front of me. perfect, you know, and this is kind of behind me, but I could shoot from here all the way to here without really just setting up and shooting. So when I'm setting up, I'm taking all that into account of where my decoys are going to be, to where I want the geese to try and land, and where am I going to set so I have the best chance, if they come in, that I can shoot them, and hopefully not be sitting over there by my camera like it's happened twice today. So yeah, so the doves, there's been lots of doves flying around. I had those 2 dove loads in for a bit here, but none of them have gotten close to me this morning. Last weekend there was hundreds of them flying around out here. I've only seen just a few today. So one other thing, I was standing there not long before I turned you guys on, and I looked, and down here in the open field here, there's a deer standing out there. So I turned on my Tacticam on my shotgun and filmed him a little bit, and we'll drop that in here. Yo, and yeah, he just kind of trotted. I don't know if he thought I was another deer, because he kind of run towards me, and then he ended up running over here and then out down into the woods over there. But well, got one more than I thought I was going to there, because I did not expect that last single. But we'll shut you guys off. I'll go get you set back up. Again, I think I only got 1 shell in my gun right now, so we'll get my gun reloaded and set here a little bit. It's only about 8 o'clock right now. Last weekend, the opening day, we had 10 geese by 8:30, or, you know, two limits, 5 apiece. On that was Sunday. On Monday, we had 6 geese by about the same time. But we basically from like 7:45 on, we never seen a goose flying anywhere. Never heard or seen a goose. So that's kind of why I picked you up and started filming, and then now there's a couple singles were flying around. But I'll be done pretty quick here. Like I said, if I only get 4 today, I'm happy with that. With nobody else chasing them around or doing anything today, you know, I wasn't real sure how good it was going to be. But, you know, had a single come in and got him, had a pair come in I didn't get, had a pair come in and I got them both, and then now I got the single. So not shooting too bad. I think I figured out, I think I got 7 shots now into the 4 geese I got. You know, that's pretty decent shooting considering the first one, it took me 3 shells to get him. So, and then I missed twice. So now I got 8 shots for my 4 geese. So 3, 2 that I didn't get is 5, 2 that I got is 7, yeah, and 1 more. So I got 8 shells into the 4 geese. So 2 shells a goose. Could be shooting better. That pair kind of hurts, and when you got to go chase one, that hurts too. So hurts your average. If I'm under 3 or anywhere around 3, I'm happy duck hunting or goose hunting. So, you know, you don't always make perfect shots, and the birds don't always fall. Like I said, that pair, I think I tickled both of them, and the one especially. So it's just the way it goes. So like I said, we'll shut you guys off. When I'm all done here, I'll turn you guys back on, and we'll give you the last little rundown of what I got going on, and we'll get the heck out of here. So Well, there you go. There's number 5. I thought this goose was over here. I heard like one honk. I'm like, oh shit, it sounds like he's right here. And all of a sudden, I get laid down, I look up and he's right here, like, shit, 400 yards up there, a quarter mile up there, cupped up already. He had to have seen me moving, I would have thought. Yeah, made a couple loops. I honked one time and here he just dove right in here. He probably would have circled again, but he was perfectly straight up. I had a perfect shot. Boom. Bird on the ground. We're done. So we're going to pick up everything here quickly. Like I said, I don't want to burn my field out now, so yeah, I'm not sure if you guys could actually see me shoot that goose because he was like right up here, you know, wasn't terribly high. Like I said, boom, here he is. Piled him up, he come right straight down. So he didn't even soar, he just piled down. So boom, there's number 5. So we're not gonna fiddle around too much here. Yeah, hopefully I got let's just make sure my Tacticam's off here, which it is. If nothing else, I got Tacticam footage for that one, so that makes number 5. We're gonna quickly put all my shells in the bags. We'll grab a arm boat or 2 and we'll carry all my decoys, like I said, back over here towards these trees because I don't want to drive out right to my spread here. And like tomorrow morning I will, because I'm not too worried. You know, in the week I won't be able to hunt Sunday this weekend, so in the week that I'm not hunting or whatever, you know, the green grass is going to grow back up and it will blend your tracks right back in. I just don't want to be driving out here today and then try and set here and hunt again tomorrow. So I guess with that, like I said, if you have any questions on my setup, what I'm doing, what I'm shooting, anything like that, just drop them down in the comments below. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys watching Schmattz Outdoors. We'll see you guys on the next one.